What is going on, everybody? And welcome in to the first episode of Season 2 of the KellyCast podcast. Too hot, not shaking your hand. Mike Kelly, how you doing?
I'm doing. How you doing?
You're doing? I don't know what that means.
I'm doing.
What exactly are you doing? Or how exactly are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well, sir. Thank you for asking.
You're leaving stuff on my set, and I still allow you to come on the show. Tell me why.
Oh, because it's my equipment, and without that, you would not have the show.
It's not my fault you replaced my lights. All right, guys.
Yeah, let's get right into this, guy.
Why do you want to rush, man?
Because you said it was going to be a long show. I got here early for this.
Long show doesn't mean bad show. Long show means good show. Let's talk to the people a little bit. How are you guys doing out there? We want to thank you for tuning in to another episode here of the KellyCast podcast. If you found us on our Facebook page, The KellyCast, welcome. If you found us on our YouTube page, The KellyCast, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, share it with all your friends, your dog's friends, your dog's enemies, everybody that you know, please do.
Yes. Welcome it all.
This podcast...
Patriots fans are banned, though.
No.
I'm kidding.
This podcast will be releasing every week throughout the entire NFL season, along with our live pregame show. I don't know if we're going to do every game, Mike, just because I don't know how our schedules are going to be, especially with that Bills and Jags game in London. I don't think we're going to be doing pregame for that game.
That one, I think we're definitely skipping my morning, unless, if my kid wakes me up that early, then I'm waking you up and we're doing a show. So.
We'll see what happens. But as of now, we're going to be doing live shows for the Buffalo Bills games. It's going to be 1 hour before kickoff. Come join us. Do about 25, 30 minutes of fun with myself and Mike, being stupid, being dumb, and it's going to be a good time.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Always.
We put up our predictions for the Thursday night game yesterday. You, of course, all know the results. We do not. So we'll see what happens there with the Kansas City Chiefs and Detroit Lions game from last night. But, Mike, let's move on right into the Bills and Jets. And because we are doing a show on Monday about this, let's keep it short. I think we'll both give a point. We'll both give a point to the Jets and a point to the Bills. Not figuratively as in touchdowns, field goals.
Right,
a point is in things that need to be said. I'll start with the Jets and then we'll go Bills and then we'll go back and forth once more.
Okay.
So I think one problem that the Bills are going to have in this game is stopping the run. Of course, the New York Jets adding Dalvin Cook, James Cook's older brother, on top of the fact that Breece Hall is healthy, who, when he was healthy last year, he looked like he was going to be the offensive rookie of the year. That ended up going to his teammate Garrett Wilson, so it was going to be a Jet no matter what.
Yep.
But the Bills really had trouble stopping the run last year, and I'm expecting that to continue going into week 1 this year.
Even under McDermott, you think that's going to happen? So,
against guys that are this good,
yep.
The Bills' defense to me is good. It's a good defense. It's been top 5 for a long time, right?
Sure.
I think they're slow.
Okay.
I think they're slow. I think the safeties are slow. They're good. They're great. I love the guys back there. They do not have speed to keep up with some of these guys. You remember that run by whatever Steelers running back took that 70-yard carry in the preseason against our first-team defense.
Right.
So you take the Bills. Give me a point on the Bills.
All right. The Buffalo Bills. They have added Leonard Floyd. I think that can help their run game. He's pretty decent against the run stop. So
good point.
I think that's something that's a key on the game right there. Since,
I like
it. You want to bring up the run game?
Okay, you're going to combat me. I like you trying to combat me. I like it.
What else? We got Poyer back, White, Rousseau. I think
you mean Hyde. Hyde back. Poyer played most of last year.
I apologize.
Oh, you're good. See, you want to talk about Leonard Floyd. I want to talk about, is that enough? Is Leonard Floyd and Gregory Rousseau enough pass rush to disrupt Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets? The problem is, we don't know what the Jets are. We don't know what Aaron Rodgers is. There's not enough film.
No idea. On paper, they're definitely going to compete with us.
Yeah.
For the AFC top spot.
I can't tell you how many times the Bills were good on paper and it didn't work out.
Exactly.
So who knows? Who knows?
On paper, they're going to compete. If I'll tell you one thing. If it's anything like my Madden game, I mean, it's gonna be a shootout just like the Lions and Chiefs game.
I don't expect this to be a high-scoring game.
I don't expect it, but I'm just really poor at defenses, I guess is my point on the Madden.
I can agree. You're also poor at throwing the ball. The only thing you can really do well is running. So that's all we're going to do for the Bills and Jets. The prediction is going to go up on Monday. We're not going to worry about the Bills and Jets today. We're going to worry about that on Monday. We'll tally up the results, see who's winning, who's losing. Obviously, I don't think we're going to have the same team in all of these matchups, Mike, but we are taking you guys through every game, our previews through the games. We came up with our own notes and tried to figure out stats from last year, rookies, storylines, right, to follow that you guys may not know, and maybe you do know. Maybe you're just here supporting us because you're a good dude or you're a good lady, and we appreciate that, so thank you so much. We're going to move on, though, Mike, to a divisional matchup here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. This game in Cleveland, big storyline to watch, is Mr. Joe Burrow, who returns from the non-contact leg injury. He was quoted today saying, "I'm ready to go."
That is fantastic news because, as I've said in previous shows, I want Burrow. I don't want him out for an extended period of time. I am happy to see him in this game. Of course, the Browns are playing at home, got home field advantage. But they've got, in my opinion, a useless quarterback. Watson.
Why are you prepared to say that already?
And I say that already. Last year, I know he only, what did he play, like 3 games or whatever last year?
He played more.
Did he play more than that? Whatever. He played a few games. He was absolutely terrible. He did not look anything like he looked
in Houston.
Yeah. Not even an inkling.
But can we look at the facts here, Mike? He didn't play football for 2 years. I think that's how you're gonna look.
He sat out because he's a big baby.
I agree. And
then he decided to touch people inappropriately. Mm-hmm. So then he had to sit out another year.
When he was sitting out before, I agreed with him sitting out. I think he deserved more money for what he was doing with the Houston Texans franchise. But the thing you're missing here, he's still a young guy. His career isn't over. As much as we all want it to be over because of the allegations, and it's not because we think he's guilty, but based on the number of women that came out, I think it's really hard to believe that, you know, he was a perfect angel through it all. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he didn't do. I'm not here to speculate that.
Whatever the case is, he's been rectified by the NFL. He's playing in the league. We can't change it at this point.
But I wrote, Mike, that this was his first full offseason with the team. He was there through OTAs. He was there through preseason. Okay. If he does not perform this year, if this year is similar to last year in terms of how he plays against other opponents, I will agree with you. But right now, I'm not ready to say that.
I'm almost ready to hang it up on him, and it's not just because of the allegations. That it's because of limited amount of games or not. It's the games that I saw. He did not look himself.
They added a receiver.
And you know what? Colin Kaepernick, I'll bring him up. He did the same thing.
What about
him? He had a great first few years, and then he just went way downhill.
I don't know that I'd compare the two, but I see what you mean.
Nobody can be 100% comparable.
Yeah,
they're two way different people, way different players.
Me to God, comparable.
Good luck with that, buddy.
They did add a receiver though, Mike. Elijah Moore traded for from the New York Jets to the Browns. I think that's going to be a big addition. Bengals, I think. Do you remember last year? I know you're old, but your memory still works a little bit.
A little bit.
Before the season started, when the season started, midway through the season, all the way until the Bills and Bengals game. The Super Bowl favorite was the Buffalo Bills. That was everybody's pick. It was everybody's pick. It wasn't just ours. It was national media. It was local media. It was everybody. I'm getting the feeling that the Bengals are one of the favorites here of the national media, and as they should be. But I did write that down. They're the playoff darlings here for the NFL because they're ready to strap themselves to the rocket that is Joe Burrow's.
Remind me of that comment because I've got a ton to say about that during our Bills show. So I believe that they are the darling team, and you know what? I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm okay
I'm fine
with
with
being
it.
a dark horse. So.
Yeah. And remember, the Bengals still have the top 3 wide receiver core in the entire NFL. T. Higgins,
Yeah, absolutely.
Tyler Boyd, and of course, Jamar Chase. And they're not going to be able to keep them all. They're not going to be able to keep them all. The salary cap is a thing.
Yep.
It is a problem. It's going to have an effect. But, Mike, let's get into our predictions here. Bengals and Browns. I'll take this one first because you took the last one. I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals in this game. I think, it is a divisional game, and we'll say this multiple times throughout the year. You'll probably get sick of hearing it. Divisional games are hard. They're very difficult, especially if you're the road team, but I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals.
It can be last place in the league, and it's going to be a last place versus a first place team, and it's going to be a tough battle.
Not always.
And it usually is.
Are you talking about divisional or
divisional,
just
divisional,
Okay. I can agree with that. I just didn't know where you were going.
It's just the extra motivation. It's just extra motivation.
You hate each other. You hate each other.
You're vying for that spot. I can't disagree with you. I've wanted to root for Cleveland, but
for a long
I can
time.
no longer do it.
You were doing it with Baker, I'm sure.
I did a little bit.
All right, let's move on to the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. This game in Baltimore, I think this is one of the easier games to pick, Mike, honestly. Baltimore obviously added Odell Beckham Jr. through free agency. They got a top 5 tight end in Mark Andrews. And I also wrote that this is just a well-coached team. John Harbaugh is 147-95 as a head coach. I just respect the guy. I do.
Yeah, me. Again, they've gotten through. They're to the playoffs.
They have
every year. He's
not every year.
Nearly.
They didn't make it last year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Injuries to Lamar Jackson and other players.
All the fun mess too. On top of that, that's what started the whole controversy.
But I did write, Mike. Are the Ravens a playoff team?
The Ravens,
because you look at the AFC.
Be. So a couple of things to note in here is the Ravens got a new offensive coordinator.
Okay.
So they've got a ton of new people around them. So as we say constantly, it takes time for a team to gel, especially with a whole ton of new people. Look at the Buffalo Bills last year.
Yep.
And our new OC, he did well. He got us to 13-3.
Yep.
It would have been 13-4. I'm sorry, we were going to lose that game, no matter what. But can all the newness hold up?
Did you know they have the first all-black quarterback coaches, and 3 quarterbacks on their roster?
Did not. I don't really quite pay attention to things like that.
I saw it multiple times today, so that's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
I didn't have time. I had to work.
I had to work too.
To train a guy today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that must not have been
all kinds of fun. Yeah.
Must be why you weren't answering my texts all day.
It was absolutely why I was not. And I don't text and drive.
Oh, you were driving today. Okay.
Yeah,
you were training a driver. Gotcha.
No, inside guy, but regardless.
we don't talk a lot off camera, to be honest, guys. Like, we live in the same house, literally about 15, 20 stairs away from each other, and the most we talk is when this video camera goes on.
It is. But back to the show, man. We I think that's gonna be tough. But I think there's also Texans have the same issue. They got a lot of rookies starting.
Yeah, I wrote that too. The Texans, of course, had the second overall pick with quarterback C.J. Stroud. They traded into third overall to take Will Anderson Jr. That was crazy. I've never seen a team do something like that. Take 2 top 3 picks by just trading up. Insane.
It is absolutely insane.
The crazy thing with the Texans, though, Mike, the wide receivers are awful. Nico Collins, John Mechie, Robert Woods. Now, John Mechie, great story, came back from leukemia. This is going to be his first year playing in the NFL.
Yep.
Unproven. Nico Collins, your number one. I don't know much about Nico Collins, I'll be honest with you. And Robert Woods has one of my most hated nicknames in all of sports, Bobby Trees. He's good, but he's not gonna do great in Houston. I think they're gonna have a tough year. And it sucks for them because guess what? They lost their first round pick this year by trading up in the draft.
Yep. Well, they stacked them up pretty good with the picks that they got.
It's
just
smart
gonna
to
be
go
a
quarterback and either defensive end. He's going to be an edge rusher. Will Anderson Jr. is going to be an edge rusher. So it's smart to get those bookends, figured out.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
you're just going to have to see them progress. Hopefully you have the right coaching staff in place with D'Amico Ryans in there as head coach, former linebacker there. But I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens. I think this is a fairly easy game.
I think it's going to be an easy game for them too. They last few years, they've had fifth best pass, protection in the game, or better. So,
Could be just because Lamar gets out of the pocket real quick.
regardless, stats are stats, right? You love your stats, so
Sometimes. Stats are a double-headed
double-edged sword sometimes.
Yeah.
But
because you can see certain stats and you'd be like, oh wow, this player's amazing, and then you see the name attached to him and you're like, oh wait, no, never mind.
Peterson did what? You saw that video, trick shots. He was amazing, and then he got in there and
Peterman.
I
was like, are you talking about Adrian Peterson? What are you talking about? All right.
Yeah, at least you got the point. Somebody got it. But I got to say the same thing.
You're taking the Baltimore Ravens? All right. Very interesting. So far, we're matching up. I think it's going to continue here with this next game.
It's not on purpose, guys.
It's not. I think a lot of these games are easy, but there's a couple here that we're going to be getting to that are coin flips.